There is a reason to fight.
There are memorials that you'll see in the Bible. And if you look all throughout history in the Old Testament, you'll constantly hear a phrase, never forget, do not forget, never forget, never forget. Now that line has been really made famous in contemporary times through 9/11. Never forget. That's the tagline that goes along with that. And the moment we say 9/11, there is a solemnness about us. There is a seriousness because we put such a value on that date and we understand what took place and the value of those lives. Now we truly don't understand, but it's a sacred thing to us. And so we say never forget, and when we tag it onto 9/11, it becomes something sacred to us. And God wants that sacredness to the things that He has said, do not forget. He wants that same sacredness to the areas where He said, never forget, do not forget this. When we attribute it to 9/11, that's powerful and it's good. However, we also need to attribute it even more so to the things that God said, do not forget. Do this in remembrance of me. And so we look at some of the things in the Bible, and I'm thinking of, when they crossed the Jordan, they put stones from the Jordan there, and they built a memorial there. And the purpose is that when children, and as we sang, the blessing, that song there that my girls love, that all of a sudden the kids would go by and say, hey, Daddy, Mommy, what is this memorial that's here? And then they would pass on the story of what God did in that moment, in that place. And so, as well, we're in some of those moments. Right now, we're in the Passover. So we celebrate the Passover. That started Thursday in Israel. And some interesting fact that I heard is that in Israel, this is the first time since the plagues took place where at Passover, that Wednesday night, they were quarantined and were told to stay in their homes. And that's the first time since Moses that they were told to stay in their homes. And that was at Passover time, right, when Moses was happening and they put the blood of the lamb on the doorstop. So it's quite a profound moment that same night when Passover started there, that's when that decree started there in Israel. And there's just a profound moment with all this that's taking place. And together we're one with that. We're one in the story. We've been grafted into the tree. We've been grafted into Christ. We've been grafted into the family. And so that is part of our story as well. And so when we look at what this profound moment is and realize that what happened so many years ago with Moses and the children of Israel and Passover, God told them to build a memorial. That means to remember this day from here on out throughout history. This is something to remember, and this is why Passover is celebrated by the Jewish people and the Messianic Jews and so many more evangelical Christians, because they realize the memorial that God set in place over there in Exodus. And so this is something that we want to realize, that yes, we are in the midst of Passover. We are in the midst of a moment that's taking place right now in history, but also from previous history, but also for future history too.